I'm fangirling,
like, this is...
but I'm a dude. Like, this is insane.
And it's, yeah. This is like one of the, I've seen a lot, after, as I've gotten older and whatnot, I've had to go back and watch some of the stuff that I missed as, a kid. Like, I went back and rewatched the entire series of the Real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Oh, the cartoon.
Yeah,
okay.
The cartoon.
See, I forgot the cartoon existed. I've seen the movies, and I'm still waiting on Afterlife after 2 years.
Well, they had to shut down because of
COVID.
Yeah. Anyways, and then I watched the Thundercats whenever it was on Toonami back in the 90s.
I love Thundercats. It was
fantastic. I love Thundercats. And then let's see there was another He-Man. I missed G.I. Joe. I missed.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think they were on a channel we could not get. This was definitely pre anything to do with the internet. Okay. Almost pre-cable to a certain extent, depending on where you lived. I lived.
Turn
Yes.
Yeah.
Rabbit ears.
Oof.
Yes.
I'm
on
so
top
sorry.
of the TV. We didn't have a pole outside. No.
Oh, okay.
We had the TV with the rabbit ears on top of it sitting there. Yeah, I lived. Whenever I was growing up as a kid in the 80s, it was in the country. I could get locally here. It was Channel 5, which was CBS.
Yeah.
We had NBC. Mm-hmm. We had PBS, which here is AETN.
Yep.
If it rained and the clouds were just right, I could get what is Channel 40? It's
ABC.
ABC-ish, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. 7 and 40 here in what part of Arkansas we live in are the two channels for ABC.
ABC, yeah, okay. But I think it was maybe something different back then. I don't remember, but yeah, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was what I had. And like I said, I mean, my Saturday mornings, were primarily on, NBC or CBS, because those are the two, because their transmission towers were in a spot that we could get good signal. However, because of where we were, the ABC tower was behind the 24 tower.
Oh.
The NBC tower. Gotcha. So it was weird. That's why I said if the clouds were right or whatever, I could get it. Otherwise, it was like very grainy or didn't come in at all.
Yeah.
So,
so just for nostalgia's sake, what were your Saturday morning cartoons that you were able to pick up?
Saturday morning cartoons. Let me see if I can name them off. Some of these you'll probably recognize. Some of them you probably will not, because we had the Garfield and Friends.
Okay.
Looney Tunes.
Yes. Before
they started saying, "Oh, this is too whatever," before things got way too political in the world and people started going nuts with correctness and whatnot.
Right.
I had, like I said, if I could, on certain days, I could get ABC, which is what the Real Ghostbusters cartoon aired on. I could watch that, but it was super grainy. So a lot of times, I mean, I can hear the sound okay, but the visual was like, what? I think I saw something happen. They won because the show ended. Okay, for this week. Okay, all right. Apparently, they caught the ghost that was causing problems and moved on. Okay, all right, sure. And then let's see here. I had. That was about it, because I got it probably about like 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, because that was because I wanted to, not because I had to. I wanted to.
Right.
Otherwise, they were trying to get me out of bed to go to school, and I didn't want to. So, as most kids.
Yeah.
Unless you were one of those weird kids who enjoyed going to school. I know several of them, and wanted to be dentists as kids. Okay, sure.
That's
all right,
interesting.
Whatever.
Okay. So we're definitely from different generations.
Yes.
Because mine were not those.
No. And let's see here. It was a short run, I think in 85 to 86-ish, maybe 87. I don't remember the exact 2-year period. But it was in that range there. There was something called the Saturday Morning Supercade.
I've heard of this.
And yeah, this was a collection of like other different little shows based around. This was definitely before the ET almost killed the video game market in the U.S.
Yeah.
Probably like the year before or something like that. But it had actually one of my favorite cartoon series at all, and I think I might have you react to that because there's only like 13 episodes to that.
I'm intrigued.
And there's another one that was... I'm getting ahead of myself here. All right, there was a in this little allotment they had like a rotating shows per se on certain airing times. These certain 2 episodes were of different things. They were different.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-minute, not a 30-minute, it was like almost an hour-long block, maybe.
Yeah.
Each of them had like 30 minutes or something, like, or 22 minutes with commercials, because toys for kids.
Yep.
There was a Frogger cartoon where he was a reporter. How that relates to the actual game, I don't know, but it was in there. They had a...
He was analyzing traffic patterns.
Okay, I guess so. He's the reporter that they talked to in the morning. It was, hey, what is it like on the 101 today? I'm up here, and it is back-to-back traffic because somebody got hit on the road. And anyways, backed all 12. Anyway, all 12 lanes on both sides backed up. Yeah, okay. It had Space Ace, which was another. It was kind of like a sort of a point and click type of game.
Okay.
Where the main character had this weird ability to switch between a teenage body and an adult body.
He-Man.
No, not a He-Man. It was more... It had something odd to do with, like, the villain, because he was an adult at the very beginning of the show, and then the villain comes and hits him with this... it was supposed to be like an infantile ray or whatever, turning him back to a baby or whatever, which is kind of dark if you think about, turn him into a baby so he can kill him. Okay. But it didn't last very long, so he got stuck at teenage level. But he still had the mental capacity and, his personality as an adult to a certain degree. He had all of his knowledge, but, he had that teenager, weird, awkward teenager type of personality. It was
so kind of like Big, but with the really bad plot style of Sky High.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
because it was the baby gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm intrigued.
And randomly throughout the entire thing, he'd transfer him back, his adult form or whatever, and then he had to, for whatever reason, I don't know why, he had to hide this weird back and forth transformation from his girlfriend or whatever. I don't know why. Sure, okay, because plot device. Reasons.
Sure.
There was also a Donkey Kong Jr.
Okay.
I think briefly that they tried to introduce. There was also something kangaroo related, some sort of kangaroo related video game reference. I don't know off the top of my head. I just remember it. And then They every once in a while had not Kangaroo Jack.
I was thinking maybe that might have been based on a video game or something.
No, I don't really remember that much, but there was also a couple of others. This is very hazy for me.
I apologize.
Going back
I was just curious because we're talking about cartoons.
Yeah, that's fine. There was also I think maybe a Miss Pac-Man or something like that came in there at the latter half. And that was that one. That ceremony. Oh, and I meant to forget the one that I really remember the most because I enjoyed it the most was Pole Position, based on the racing game Pole Position from the Atari.
Yeah.
However, the game and the show did nothing except have the name as the commonality between the two, because the show. I liked it because there was 2 talking cars, because that reminded me of Knight Rider.
Okay.
And they were like, that's it. But
love Knight Rider.
Yes, the show basic premise was this family who was kind of like secret agents of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Where they went around the country. Their cover was a car stunt show.
Okay.
So the cars could do fantastical different things and whatnot, and it was. I enjoyed it. And there was only
evil animated series.
I think there actually was one.
No. I said it reminds me of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes. This was. It was that was in the 70s. But anyways, but yeah, that was. And then switching over to that, I had the Gummy Bears.
Love Gummy Bears.
And then there was something called the Biscuits, not the food. The Gummy Bears, the Disney channel one, where the gummy bear juice, they drink it and they bounce around and here and there and everywhere.
I've seen it.
And then there was also a very short run of something called the Biscuits, which kind of was little dogs or something like that were like in medieval times. And that was the world, and that's all I know of that. There was several others, but
please, in the comments, if you recognize any of the few that he just said that I'm making weird faces to, let me know. Because those sound odd.
Yes, they were. Yes, there was. And I'm not even going to get into. They had a Berenstein Bears or Berenstein Bears, depending on
Berenstein Bears.
They had a cartoon with that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, okay. All right. They had.
Growing up, I had a VHS. It was like a compilation of episodes.
And in fact, I have on my wall over there behind the camera, the only live action thing I liked, in that particular time, and it was Benji related.
Like the dog?
Like the dog, yes.
Benji. Okay.
Yes. And it was a sci-fi take with Benji in it. It was called Benji, Zax, and the Alien Prince.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And like most shows, they didn't really care about how they aired them in order. Or care about the airing order. It was one of those type of things.
Whichever ones get done first is the ones they would put out.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But there was only one. There's only one season, and that was it. And only 13 episodes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is that the one you were talking about?
No.
That you want me to react to?
No, the Pole Position.
Pole Position. Okay.
Yes. Pole Position would be a good one. And then my all-time favorite. This was when laser tag had just started and everything was going nuts with laser tag. They had a show based on the game, the laser tag game, called Laser Tag Academy.
Okay.
And that is still one of my favorites. That time, because I liked the main character.
Fair enough.
She was probably one of my first cartoon crushes. If I'm going to put that out there. Come on, you can't say that you didn't.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, she was at least human. Okay. From the year 3010, granted, but yes.
Yeah. My shows were not those. I grew up, like, I remember my Saturday morning block, and it was on, it was a combination. It was when ABC Family had just started, and so some of the shows were crossing over with ABC.
Yeah.
And so you had, like, oh, Lord. Okay. Beetleborgs.
Yes.
Which I came into it when it was Metallics. I had to go back and watch the original Beetleborgs on rerun. Because I thought Beetleborgs Metallics was a better storyline. Did not know they recast the girl until watching the original. So Beetleborgs Metallics. It was one of the seasons of Power Rangers. I've watched literally every season. To this day, do not judge. Beast Morphers is eh. It was one of the seasons of Power Rangers, and then it was like an hour block of Digimon, and then an hour block of Yu-Gi-Oh! And so that was my Saturday morning.
No Pokemon.
Cartoons. I was not a big Pokemon fan. I watched like the first season. I never really got into Pokemon. I'm sorry to anyone that I may have just offended, but Pokemon wasn't my thing. I was a Digimon and a Yu-Gi-Oh kid, like straight up. And then there was a Dungeons and Dragons animated series.
Oh yes, I remember that. That was actually in the 80s.
There may have been one in the 80s, but I remember there was one that I watched.
Yeah, there was one in the 80s that, Dungeons and Dragons. It only ran for a lot of shows in the 80s, for cartoons ran for like 13 episodes because that was all the funding they could get. Unless you were G.I. Joe, Thundercats, the big ones, Ghostbusters, because you had the movies coming and whatever. You had He-Man, all of that. They ran multiples of seasons. So
I was gonna say, side note: Dungeons and Dragons, the movie, just started filming this week.
Oh, okay. I
thought you were talking about
No, I did not.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the 2004 one with Tom Baker in it as an elf. I'm like, oh, that was cool, even though it was weird seeing what's his face. One of the Chappelle brothers was in it. Anyways. Damon Wayans.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Damon Wayans, not a Chappelle.
Not a Chappelle brother.
Sorry. Damon Wayans. Sorry. Yeah, it was like, why is he in this? But okay, whatever.
Yeah, so they're making a new Dungeons and Dragons, and filming just started this week at the time of this filming. But, so there was quite a few shows that carried over from your generation that are coming over now and getting either revitalized, revived, continued, or reimagined is what they're calling reboots now, is a reimagining.
Yeah, because there was a whole kerfuffle with the whole reboot / reimagining thing whenever Battlestar Galactica came back.
The one with Edward James Olmos?
Yes.
Yeah. And now it's coming back again. They're
reimagining the reimagining. Okay.
No, this is just a straight up reboot of the original.
Okay. I could probably get behind that because I absolutely love the original.
If I remember right, I think Amazon Prime is doing it. I'll have to double check, but I think they said that it was Amazon Prime that had the rights.
Okay.
Because it was a sci-fi program when they did the.
Sci-fi. Okay, the TV channel sci-fi.
Yes.
I thought you were just talking about a general, like the genre. I'm like, wait, what?
SYFY.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That makes more sense now.
I'm so old. I remember the old logo. Or it was actually.
I remember it was before Sci-Fi Channel, SCIFI Channel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
the OG.
Yeah, and then it was SYFY, and then they changed it to SYFY, but it's like Comic Sans logo now. Yeah, it's weird.
It's gone downhill when they used Comic Sans font.
I was watching something the other day, and they said Comic Sans is the worst font you could ever use because it shows that you just absolutely don't care. I can't remember what I was watching, but that's like a straight line from either show or movie. But they were like, you can write whatever you want, just don't use Comic Sans, because then you just don't care. Sounds like a Deadpool line.
Yeah. And then before we get too far away, I already told you about that. Yeah, we can also do a reaction to the Laser Tag Academy.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued.
If there is a break with Bad Batch, but
I need to get to thinking about something that you can react to that you haven't seen.
It is going to be hard because
generations going on here.
That, and it would also, because I did a lot of catch up stuff.
Yeah.
There could be kind of hard to do that.
Hmm.
I mean, there's Airwolf. I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's.
I know what Airwolf is.
Okay, I ignore season 4 because that was a travesty. Donald, you can tell Donald P. Belisario he was just kind of arm twisted into doing a 4th season because we got to do this. No, you don't. They didn't even allow to use actual helicopters in the air. They had to use redo stock footage from the original series.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I like a lot of Belisario stuff.
Yes.
The production company. I understand the guy's name is Belisario, but the production company is what I was referring to.
I have all 4 seasons of Knight Rider, the OG Knight Rider. I even have the 2008 Trident revival thing.
I actually liked that.
It was
as a fan of the original Knight Rider, I thought it was a very well done version of bringing it back.
I
personally,
they
apparently no one else agreed with me.
Right now, I liked it towards the end, and that should have been done like way earlier. I feel because they were in the show, they were under the blanket of the FBI or whatever. Yeah. It should have been their own standalone thing, and by like 2 or 3, 4 episodes before the series ended, mm-hmm. they finally got to be on their own, and then it became more and more like the original show.
Yeah, I liked the Kit versus Car thing that they did, but
let's see. I'm just trying to rack my brain, but anyways, I think that's going to be it for this.
Yeah,
I mean, we went way off over here and back around, and now we're finally.
I was just curious if He-Man was like, because you said that you missed it originally.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering what you did watch growing up.
Right.
Because you were in that age range.
Yeah.
But feel free in the comments to let us know what were your shows growing up. Because was He-Man a big thing for you, Thundercats, or are you closer to my age where it was more of the live action type stuff?
Or if you were like even really more new and you had things like
age.
Yeah, you had the Amazing Adventures of Gumball.
Oh my gosh.
Few of their episodes were pretty good, but otherwise I was like, okay.
What happened to Cartoon Network?
Chowder was fantastic, though. I love Chowder. Chowder is great. Because I love...
I don't like that style of animation, personally.
I mean, I could look past the animation. But let's see here. Anyways, and I liked Steven Universe. I watched the entirety of all of that.
You keep trying to get me to watch Steven Universe. We've discussed it.
We may do that if we want. If you guys so choose to, want us to do.
Let us know in the comments.
The comments are a thing. Please don't ignore them.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.